So we've made progress towards accounting for these funds, and there are some remaining funds that we're looking for or need to account for.
Is it $1 million, right at $1 million? Are these COVID relief funds? I'm sure the public would like a little transparency on what exactly is going on here, because it sounds pretty dire.
Well, all new at 5 tonight, a South Carolina city said last week that it could not account for COVID tax dollars. Well, after our behind closed doors investigation aired. So the man leading the city now says there's no wrongdoing, but the city administrator continues to offer no proof, going as far as putting out a press release yesterday claiming our chief investigative reporter Jody Barr got it wrong. But here's Jody with a follow-up and new evidence the city is in major budget crisis.
After our investigation aired, the city manager published this one-page press release, now claiming the city's accounted for all COVID dollars. And late yesterday, the city manager sent me this, the city's latest audit, which I asked for more than a week ago. It shows the city's battling a $1 million shortfall within the budget. And last week, it sure didn't sound like everything was fine.
There's some accounting that we need to do regarding some of our funds and some of our accounts. That could impact our budget.
That's how Bennettsville City Manager William Simon opened this public meeting 10 days ago. Council and the administrator tried to take this discussion behind closed doors.
I'll have a motion to take this to financial affairs to executive session.
So moved. Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Well, I object on behalf of the public. Can you state the reason for this executive session?
City financial affairs.
That's, you might want to check with your attorney. The statute requires specific reasons, and that isn't one under the statute. And the city attorney agreed with us.
Mr. Simon, I think that was probably an improper basis for us to go into executive session.
Okay.
I think the council needs to come back out here and let me inform them of that.
But the meeting did not reveal any hard dollar figures on what the city could not account for. The city administrator wouldn't tell us either. Mr. Simon, how big is the shortfall? $1 million plus, just under $1 million? City sources told me City Hall could not account for COVID relief tax dollars. The city administrator told me that after this meeting, the accounting problems centered on those COVID funds, but he would not explain further. Last week, I asked the city administrator for a copy of the latest audit because the city has not posted it on its website, but he never responded. After City Hall published this press release yesterday calling our reporting of missing funds baseless and misleading, I emailed him again asking for an interview. Mr. Simon again said no, but he sent me the city's latest audit. It shows on page 9 what the auditor called an unfavorable variance in the city's budget of just under $1 million. This audit shows the city spent more than it had. In a press release published yesterday, the city manager wrote, the city of Bennettsville emphasizes that all ARPA funds, COVID relief tax dollars, are accounted for and are currently undergoing a detailed and routine final accounting process. The assertion made by sensational news outlets in its recent stories that funds are missing is not only baseless, but also misleading. But this is what the administrator told council on April 16th.
So we've made progress towards accounting for these funds. The reason for the meeting is that we just want to get to the point where we're at the finish line and there are some remaining funds that we're looking for or need to account for. We're confident that we're going to be able to do so, but we want to give you all that information as you consider first reading of the budget today and let you know that we're going to continue to work after that.
That night and the next day through email, we asked Simon to clarify exactly what he meant, but he would not. I even called City Attorney Mason King last week, asking him to help us get the facts from City Hall. King said he'd pass along our message, but no one at City Hall responded. We even tried to get the city's auditor to help us get to the bottom of this, but he never responded to either message, including the one I left for him just this morning. All we're working to do here is to get the city to explain what happened to the money.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get back on this agenda, and if at any time at a later date that you want to sit down and really talk about this information, because we're very open, we want to be transparent, we're willing to do that, but for tonight we're going to follow the agenda.
What time is it now? What time do you have?
I don't know. You have to find out.
Let me look on you. Well, we got 28 minutes before your next meeting. Is it $1 million? right at $1 million? Are these COVID relief funds? I mean, sounds pretty serious. I'm sure the public would like a little transparency on what exactly is going on here, because it sounds pretty dire. The city's press release also promises city leaders will explain publicly what's going on at a forum 3 months from now.
And you can be able to read every development on this story and other investigations by Jody Barr on our website. You can just head to qcnews.com.